Hello and welcome back to Beauty Bee and to the 5-month update for my project pan for 2021. So we are quickly approaching the halfway point. This is a 13-month project, so in about 6 weeks we will be halfway there. And I think the update I have today is pretty good. I think let's just get into it. I will link the intro video as well as the playlist that has all of the other updates up in the cards if you really want to hear the rules and my reasoning behind this project. But otherwise, let's just go through these products. Let's start with nails, which is going to be the least exciting category this month. I have 2 of these Sally Hansen Insta-Dry nail polishes in this project. They're both gray, the shade Show Stealer, a little bit of a tongue twister there. I did use once. I am now right at the bottom of the line that I made last month. I think I was sort of in the middle of the line when I started, so I'm not gonna remark it, but I did make some progress. I also made quite good progress, but you can't see it because I knocked over the bottle as I was getting ready, but I made really good progress on this lighter gray, which is, oh sorry, this is Show Stealer, this is Grease Lightning, and it's actually right about down here. I used this 3 times in the past month, I believe. It's what I'm wearing today, topped off with a shimmery blue nail polish, and I'm loving it like this. I also really like the shade by itself. It's really pretty. It is, I think, pretty flattering on me, and I like it. I do like gray nail polish, but I have another one that's pretty similar, and these have been around, I believe, since I was in college, and I graduated 5 years ago. Next up, we have an item that I'm actually going to be decluttering. This is the Sally Hansen Hard as Nails Extreme Wear. This is in the shade Fuchsia Power. I believe that they actually still sell this. I think my mom bought a bottle of it not all that long ago. And this is just gloop at this point. It's thick. It's hard to even open the bottle because there's just so much dried nail polish caked all over it. No, I'm not going to use this. It's a pain to use. I have put it on my toes a couple times in the past month, and it also just stinks. Like, just opening that, it stinks. So this is going, I'm not surprised that it's gone off somewhat. This is something that I had my first year of college, so it's at least 9 years old, and I think I might have had it in high school. So this can go. Next, let's move to a really quick category, my miscellaneous category, which contains some skincare, some body care, fragrance, just anything that didn't really fit into another category in this project. And the only product I actually have left in this category is this Pacifica Island Vanilla Perfumed Hair and Body Mist. My goal with this product is to use it half of it up. In March, I started up here. At the beginning of April, I was down to here, and now I am down below the mark that I made for the halfway point. So this can roll out of the project. I'm not going to roll anything in this category. I am planning to do an inventory sometime the next month, maybe 2 months. I think that after that is done, I will have a better idea of exactly what I have, as well as what I should maybe work on panning, and we can take it from there. Let's move to face products next. One item that I'm trying to finish up this year is this Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. This is that sponge tip concealer that seems to divide the YouTube beauty community on whether it's efficient or gross. I'm kind of on the side of efficient. I mean, yeah, it's gross, but most concealers are kind of gross in my opinion. I have mine in the shade Ivory. I am wearing a little bit of it today. I think that this is just not a good color for me, is what I'm realizing, at least right now. I mean, my skin just looks yellow on my face compared to the rest of me. And I thought it was my foundation, but I think it's this. I think this is what's causing the problem. So I don't know how much I'm going to use it over the next month. Maybe once we get into June, July, I'll get just a hair darker and maybe it will work out a little bit better for me. But for right now, we're on a break. I'm really hoping to move the other 2 cheek products out of my collection in the next month. The first is this little mini of Tarte Harmony. I say little, it's not that little in the big scheme of things. I mean, it's a blush. I have used this for ages. I think I've owned it for 3 years and used it pretty consistently through most of that period. And let's see, I really don't have a whole lot left. I had to repress it and it is very thin everywhere except for maybe this middle part, which I don't feel my brush really gets into. Yeah, I mean, I have pan in so many different spots. There, you know, there. And I think that I should be able to use this up in a month if I'm very good about using it. This is actually in a much shorter term project that I have going on, which I will also link up in the cards if you're interested. And yeah, this is just something that needs to go. As is this KVD, really Kat Von D Lockets powder. I have so little of this left. Get it gathered in a spot so you can actually see. I mean, that is it. There's maybe 2 days worth in there. I kind of thought it might be done by today, but not quite. This does have a little bit of a white cast to it, I'm realizing, which maybe isn't the best thing in general, but it's kind of been working to my favor because my concealer is too dark and a little too yellow for me, and it's been lightening it up. Definitely not a long-term solution because if you get really close, I can look pretty cakey by the end of the day, but I mean, it's been working for me, and pretty clearly I can't be doing this for too much longer, at least with this powder. So I think next month should be a really exciting update for the cheek product. I really think that I'll be able to move both of these out. I think that I also might be able to roll out a lip product next month. Let's actually talk about that one first. My goal on this Revlon Super Lustrous lipstick in Secret Club is to use up half of the lipstick. Here is where we are at in the tube. And here, grab my, try not to knock over too many things as I'm picking this up. Oh, well, that's not gonna work. There we are. Here is my traced lipstick. My goal is to get the middle of this slant down to the pink dotted line. I really think that I have maybe 2 months left with this. I would really like to have this at goal no later than the beginning of July update. That way I could roll in another lipstick to use half up by the end of the year and really be set for next year to be able to move out some of my older lipsticks. I think that would be a good plan. One lipstick that I'm trying to finish this year is my Maybelline Pink for Me. I have this much left. It's rolled all the way up. It's actually pretty similar in size right now to Secret Club. This is super creamy. I like to multitask this product. I'll wear it as a cream blush, probably more often than I wear it on the lips even. And this is just a super easy shade to switch to if I decide that whatever I started out the day with is just a little bit too high maintenance for me. This goes with most of the things I wear, not quite everything. It is kind of a pinky mauvey nude on me. Works out pretty well with most makeup and most of the clothes that I wear. So I've been making decent progress on this. I was being a little bit of an idiot this month, and I used my original sheet to repress shadows. So I made a total mess of that and couldn't see my lines anymore. We're starting a new sheet, and hopefully I will not make stupid choices with this one, but we shall see. And then finally, in the lip category, we have my NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream, and this is done. I'm guessing there will be product when I pull this out, because that's usually how it goes. Yep, of course it is. But the last time I used this, I was scraping the sides to get any out, and I was getting sort of dried, somewhat gunky lip cream out of it. It still looked okay. It didn't wear as well as I wanted it to, and it took me a couple of dips in just to cover my lips. By a couple, I mean more than two. I mean like 4. So it's time for this to go. I'm not interested in fighting my lip products to get them to apply. I did really like this when I first got it, but that was probably 3 years ago, and I've just moved on to better things. And then the last category we have to talk about are eyeshadows. I have 4 eyeshadows that my goal is just to hit pan on, and they are these 4 right here in my NYX Ultimate Utopia palette. As you can see, I've already hit goal on one of them. I think I hit this in last month's update, maybe the month before. But anyway, I've hit pan on the green. This matte sage color, I do have a little bit of a dip going in, but nothing too impressive. I have more of a dip going on in this shimmery blue, super pretty color. It's very much like a mermaid scale color. It is blue and green, and it sort of shifts in between the two of them. It's very glittery. I'm rather fond of it. And I have this dark matte purple. Have used this a couple of times, pretty much all over the lid, and then I'll top it off with a pink shimmer or a silvery shimmer, some kind of duochrome, and it works out really well. I think that is probably how I will end up hitting pan on this shade, because it is so deep that the other ways that I wear it, I use so little that I don't think I would be able to hit pan this year. So I'm making good progress on this, but I don't think that I will have hit any additional goals by the time the next monthly update rolls around. In addition to those 4 shadows I'm just trying to hit pan on, I also have 6 eyeshadows that I'm trying to finish off. All 6 of these shades have had pan in them for quite a while, and it's just time to use them up and move them out. The first one is in this Maybelline City Mini palette. This is the Mad for Matte. This is the Matte About Town City Mini palette, and I am trying to pan this light brown. I do have quite a bit of use on it. Apologies, I think I forgot to take progress photos last month, so I will make sure to take them this month and then include progress photos going forward, but don't have anything for right now. But I think I am making good progress on it. I would really like over the course of this month to reach the edge with the pan on one of the sides. I think that would indicate really good progress. This is such an easy shade to throw in the crease for every day that I think that should be quite doable. I like these Maybelline City Mini palettes that I actually bought 2 of them. This is the Chill Brunch Neutrals one, and I am trying to use up this lavender shade as well as this peachy gold. Now, this peachy gold has actually gotten a ton of use from me this month. It is in my Pan This eyeshadows. I love using this as a lid shade. It's super pretty, super easy, super flattering. The lavender has traditionally been the shade that I would put in the crease if I was wearing this gold. However, I actually ended up pulling quite a similar shade in my Pan This eyeshadows that I've been reaching for instead. And therefore, the shade has been a little bit neglected over the past month. I don't think I've made much progress on it at all. This isn't really in the project, but I did hit pan on this white. It's actually a really light pink. Let me see if I can swatch this one and show you. On me, it's a really good brightening shade. I mean, it's kind of blending into my skin tone, which is why it makes such a good brightening shade. But in any case, I am very fond of this palette, and I'm glad that I am working on it this year. I feel like it is something that could easily just fall to the wayside if I wasn't consciously making an effort to reach for it. I have two shades that I have repressed. This is the Wet n Wild Silent Treatment, the shimmery lid shade in that palette, and I hit pan this month, which is great. There's actually not a ton of product in most of the center of the pan. It's pretty thin through the center. There is quite a bit built up on the edges though, so I don't really have a good sense of how much I've actually used of this. I've been using it largely as a face highlight. A shade that I have fantastic progress on is this NYX Avant Pop shadow. This is a sort of buttercream shade, and I have some major pan in this. I use this every single day to set my eye primer, so it's not surprising that I've gone through it pretty quickly. But this is another one that I would really like to have out by the next update. I mean, I've used so much of it just this month that I don't think that is an unreasonable goal. I did not have pan in this in last month's update, but now I have huge pan and I'm really starting to wear down the sides a little bit. So I think this is achievable, but we'll see in next month's update if I was correct or not. A shade that is no longer with us is from my Wet n Wild Rosé in the Air palette. I had this transition powder. It was a somewhat cool toned light brown that I was using in my brows. It's what I have in my brows today actually. The remaining tiny bit, I had like one, which side was it on? It was right over here. I had one little corner left. It crumbled out onto my couch when I was grabbing the stuff for this video, so now I have a little brown stain on my couch to remember it by for the moment. So I'll wipe that off in probably 5 minutes once I'm done filming. So I actually made quite a bit of progress this month. I'm not sure why when I sat down I was thinking that I hadn't, though on the other hand, I didn't really have an empty in this shade when I sat down to film this. I had a 99.9% empty, and fate decided that I was not going to use this brow powder again. However, I think next month will be a much better update. I think that I will almost certainly have these two items out. I wouldn't totally rule out that I could finish this gray. I have used these up in the past, and you get to not very far. You get right about to the Insta-Dry, the end of the Insta-Dry label, I think. Maybe just a little bit lower, and you can't get any more product out. So we'll see if that holds true for this one as well. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope you will consider liking and subscribing if you did. I have a couple other project pans going on, which I will have linked down in the description box as well as up in the cards, and I hope that if you liked this video that you will go check those out. Thanks again for watching, and I really hope I'll see you next time.